Welcome back to my channel, and today we will be going through my January and February makeup purchases. Today we're doing something fun, so I will be going through sort of makeup products that I got into my collection in the beginning of the year, so during January and February. And as always, I think with these whole videos, I would like to emphasize that this is no way meant to be a bragging about my makeup collection. This is just something fun and meant to be as an entertaining. And all of these products, except for one product that was gifted to me by my relative, all of these I have bought with my own hard-earned money. So YouTube is obviously a hobby to me. I have full daytime job, and makeup is then something that I do like to spend the income that I do make in that one in working every day. So there is I'd say quite a lot here. However, this is from 2 months period of time, and especially from the February time, I would say that there was quite a lot of like drugstore stuff that I bought. So actually there wasn't like I'm looking at my makeup budget from this year, like how much money I have spent. Like I have definitely already spent money, but I don't feel that it's that much, and that's mainly due to the fact that the products, for example, from February have all been drugstore price. But let's now get to the stuff that I got during these 2 months. First, I think let's go through some individual palettes that I've been getting into my collection, and first is the product that I promised that I would show that was gifted. I'm gonna move a bit. So I got the Sickly Sweet. This was the first product that I think I got during this year, and this was a Christmas gift from my brother. However, this got stuck in somewhere in the holiday parcel traffic, and that is the reason why he wasn't able to get this to me until after New Year's. And I have been this was on my makeup rotation during the last few weeks. This is how the palette looks like if you haven't seen it already on YouTube and on social media. There is a collective palette review video that I am planning to make, because I think I will be trying something different out this year in terms of how I will be reviewing palettes. So I think it will be better to put multiple palettes in sort of one video. But little maybe sneak peek about this, that we all know how the Sugar and Grunge palette was something that made me I fell in love with Blend Bunny with the Dollhouse palette, and then the Sugar and Grunge palette that I tried during the last summer was quite a disappointment, and I ended up decluttering that palette. But I will already tell you that I am much happier again after having tried this one. But beautiful pastel palette. I know my brother got this from Monolith Shop for me, which is a European retailer for Blend Bunny, but this is also available from Blend Bunny's own website. So this was the first product that I got, but this was gifted because it was a late Christmas present. Then I think the sort of only indie palette that I did buy with my own money. So this was the Dreamer palette by Unearthly Cosmetics, and this was in Monolith's sort of end of the year launch during it was in the 31st of December, so just before New Year's, and I got this obviously in January and tried it out. There is an individual review video of this out on my channel, and long story short, I liked the shimmers. They were quite nice and sparkly, very big improvement from the Unearthly palettes that I tried previously. The mattes weren't my favorites, but I did still end up giving this I told in the end of my review video that I did still like this palette quite a lot, and I do think the color story of this was quite smart. So again, this was sort of I think the other indie palette that I've been able to try quite a lot of lately. Then there is the Dior Backstage Smoky Essentials. So this was included in the collective palette review video, a makeup review video that had palettes and makeup items. You will be able to find that on my review playlist. I don't know, have I now become a collector of these, because this is now the second one that I got, aside from the Silver Essentials that were released last year. This is a good sort of, if you want this sort of bronzy, reddish, more leaning smoky palette with sort of a satin formula, and if you like the Backstage formula, I did say that in the review that this was quite close to, the formula was as good as with the Silver Essentials, just the tones are a bit muted, but again, something that I did enjoy working with, and I have particularly used this quite a lot when I've been just having days that I have to get something quick on my eyelids, and this is a very good palette for those kind of days. Yeah, so those were all the individual palettes, and now let's go to the sort of group of products, and now all the rest of these are drugstore. and first let's go to actually the Catrice stuff. So the Catrice Spring Edit stuff came to our stores a few weeks ago, and those were in my makeup rotations. I have, again, in the same sorry, in the same collective review video that, for example, I had the Smoky Essentials palette, I had the Catrice sort of Spring Edit products in that one. We are waiting now the Essence stuff to come, I think, because it now is, all the Essence stuff is now released on German retailers. It's gonna soon also come to our retailers. I'm thinking probably somewhere around next week or week after that. So first is the palette that I got from the, so they released 3 of these new slim style eyeshadow palettes, and I got the Blooming Bliss one, so this is the pinky one. I gave this quite a mediocre review because I do think that they haven't really sort of improved the formula of this one, and I didn't like the fact that they are now having this sort of plastic window in this one, because I do think it cheapens these up a little bit. Also the color story, I mean, you get quite nice pinky looks of this, but there is quite a lot of, I'd say, repetition within this one, so the looks are gonna be quite similar, even though this has quite a lot of shades in it. Then the 2 lip products I got, so I had the Shine Balm Lip Lacquer and the Melt and Shine Lip Balms, so these were the 2. Again, as I have mentioned, the lip lacquer, I liked this one, I wasn't impressed with. If you think that, for example, this sort of lip balm product is similar to the Tarte Maracuja lip glosses, they aren't similar. This is truly a lip balm, even though I have a quite a darker shade of this one. I really have to press quite a lot to get any sort of pigment out of this, and it's not, even though it's supposed to be like a melting formula, I really have to press quite a lot. The lip lacquer, on the other hand, this was a very, I like this one a lot, and if you want this sort of a shinier lip product that stays on your lips all day, then this is a very good, and it's quite pigmented also. And then the last of the Catrice Spring Edit products was this one. So these are the liquid blushes, which I didn't have too high expectations for these, because first of all the packaging, it is quite simplistic sort of tube product, and also I was sort of thinking that are this gonna be, because I think in somewhere it said that you should, yeah, it says shake well, and I was thinking that is it gonna be like a some sort of very liquidy lip tint, lip or cheek tint kind of product that you have to work very fast to blend, but no, this is a very beautiful, it's a very sort of beautiful, that gives you the sort of nice flushed effect, but there's also like pigment behind it, so I think this will suit quite many makeup preferences, that it will suit for those of us who like a more punchier effect on their cheeks for blush, but also particularly if you buy lighter shades, because this Velvet Rose shade is quite a deep shade, but if you are fair skinned and buy the few of the lighter shades, I do think you will be able to also get quite an sort of like lighter effect on your cheeks, and this is, I think, something that works very well with a brush, and if you want sort of a lighter layer, then you can use a sponge with this one. And yeah, this is I think one of the like hits that Catrice had in their sort of 2024 spring edits. And then let's go through the Kiko stuff. So we now have a Kiko retailer in our country, and there is actually the stand we have now in one of our department store. I was first thinking that it's going to be a very small selection. No, it's a full-on Kiko stand. It's like it's very extensive. Something that I did mention in one of my makeup news videos is that I haven't seen yet any of the like special, because I do know, for example, Kiko recently came out with their spring release, and I haven't so far seen any signs that we would be getting that, so I don't know, is it the case that we will only like get that when they release something in their staple line, then we will get those products, but the special edit stuff is something that we will still have to order from Kiko's own website. But nevertheless, I am quite happy that even we got the staple product, because I do think, especially for if you live in Europe, like Kiko is a more expensive drugstore brand, but I do think that with them most of the time it is like worth it. But about the products I got, so this is gonna be the next foundation I will be trying after I have run out of the L'Oreal True Match foundation that I'm currently wearing. So this is the Insta Moisture foundation, and I would have also liked to buy a concealer, but unfortunately the concealer shades were quite yellow leaning, like the light ones. So this one, I do think it is actually described as a neutral or neutral rosy shade, so this I will know will actually like suit me. But the concealer choices that we had in the sort of our local retailer, those were quite yellow leaning from the fair shade, so that's why I only ended up buying the foundation. But very interested to try this out. Then I bought their stick bronzer, so this is in the, I think shade is 200, I think this might be Sienna. Kiko has a very funny habit of doing so that they have like numbers and shade names, but the shade names are sort of like only like you are able to see them in the like store and then in the like the cardboard packaging, but once you go through the packaging they only have the like the shade numbers. So this is the 200, which I think is for the fair. Meant to be for the fair skin tone, and I will see how I like this one because we all know that the sort of stick blush that they have in, while I did say that the blush stick blush formula was very like smooth and very effortless to work with, however I wasn't able to, or well, I had to do quite a lot of work to get that to sort of work on my, to have the opaqueness that I like from my blushes. And I did mention that at least with the stick blushes I won't be buying any more shades, but with this sort of sculpting product I will have to see that how I will feel about it. But I did want to try this out because I do think that while with blushes I do like to have a bit of an impact to them, with this sort of sculpting, contouring, bronzing products I don't mind if the product is a bit more like buildable, because with those I don't want like I don't want to have like super harsh lines. So we'll be trying this out at some point and we'll be then getting back to it. Then I bought one of their sort of traditional lipsticks, and this was in the 540 is the shade number. This was Rosy something was the shade name of it, but again because it's not in the packaging. And this is the sort of like quite traditional rosy pink shade. Not that I was needing any more Kiko lipstick products, but I wanted to get a one like lip product. I was thinking about getting some of the another gloss, but then I was like that, yeah, okay, I have like 3 of the 3D glosses, so I sort of held myself off from adding another 3D gloss, even though the temptation was there. But interested to see how this will compare to the other, because this isn't like my first Kiko lipstick. I have 2 lipsticks from their, one from their holiday sort of Christmas collection last year and one from their Valentine's collection last year, so we will see how this compares to them, but the shade is pretty. And of course I did have to buy a palette, so this is the, again we have the, this is like 02, this was Sunset something. Again, I was able to check this from the website, but so this is a very sort of an brownish, peachy, bronzy palette, but I did like this because these are quite small. And I did really want to see that how these, for example, will compare to some of their limited edition, because all the Kiko palettes, aside from the quad that I did declutter because I didn't like the quality of the quad. So, but this had like, I could see that this has a bit more different textures compared to, for example, the quad I had from last year and I decluttered, but I do want to see how this sort of compares to their like the holiday palette that I have from them, or actually 2 holiday palettes, because I have now the only Kiko palettes that I have after my eyeshadow palette declutter from the beginning of the year is the holiday palette from 2024 and then the holiday palette from 2023. But yes, this again, this is actually now in my makeup rotation, so you will be seeing this I think in a few weeks time in some type of a review video. Then I think we will go to the sort of last of the products, and this was sort of my I went to shopping one of our like bigger malls in our area, so that's when I sort of, and there were some like there were some discounts there, so that's why I sort of ended up with these. And these are actually products that you have seen in my first impressions video, which is the sort of look that have been sort of most of these products have been used for the look that I have created today, and you have seen them earlier in a video in this week. So first one was this one. So this was the NYX Duck Plump. I don't know are these technically lip glosses or what are these supposed to be called. These are very pigmented. This is the product I'm wearing on my lips right now, and these will burn your lips. I have been now wearing this I think a good 20 minutes now, and the sting is still there. Very pigmented, but just buyer beware. Then I had the MUA cream bronzer. I can show the shade. So this is in the shade Butterscotch, and again this is something that I used today before filming this video. And my first impressions was sort of that I do like the formula of this, the undertone. I have to test it out longer how I will like the undertone of it. Then the L'Oreal Lash Panorama Mascara. This is the mascara I'm wearing now. Gives a good lengthening and sort of an lengthening and separation effect, but if you're looking for something volumizing, then this might not be your mascara. But this has a plastic wand, something I'm not particularly a fan of with mascaras, but alas, still something that I have been like using now a bit over a week, and so far I do sort of I do like the effect of it, even though it does lack the sort of volumizing effect that I also do like to have with my mascaras. Then something that I did not try on the sort of first impressions video, so this is the MUA lip liner in the shade Classic. So they sort of had lip liners, previously I own one, and now they sort of came out with the sort of, they had come out with a new, I think, shade extension or something, so these are like more, because this is the sort in the theme, nude edition was the like collection name of this collection of these lip liners, so these are more sort of neutral and berry colors and sort of like I would say traditional lip liner colors. But I like the previous sort of MUA lip liner I have, so that is why I thought that I would buy one more. And also again, these are like these aren't too expensive. This was like only over €2 or something, and you get quite a lot of product. This is quite long, so yeah. And then the last of the products that I have for this video, so this was the Profusion Mauve's 10 shade palette, and this is the one that I'm wearing on my eyes. First impressions, this is quite mid-tone light shade palette, so if you are tan to deep skin tone, I don't think you will be at least able to work with this particular palette because it is lacking quite a lot of depth. First impressions, the sort of matte shades were quite powdery. The shimmer shades are quite nice, but nothing super like extraordinary, even for I think for drugstore shades. But I will still be trying out the rest of the shades during the 2-week rotations that this is now in my collections, and we'll be getting back with the final reviews. But yeah, those were sort of the palette products altogether that I got into my collection during the sort of January-February time. So that was it. Comment down below what kind of products have you been getting into your collection, or have you been sort of in a low buy or no buy during the beginning of the year, or are you in a no buy low buy altogether? Because I do know that a lot of people, because we have been getting so many makeup releases, I know many people are sort of getting quite I'd say, I don't know, is tired maybe the right expression, but I know a lot of like people are getting more pickier what they buy, and I would say that definitely, even though like I know it looks like this is quite a lot of makeup that I've shown even for like a 2 months period of time, but I do, when I already compared like what I got from last year during the similar time, I was able to like conclude that there is still like less products have come into my collection compared to what I was getting, because last year I think was quite crazy in terms of how much I got. And while I haven't like set for this year like that I want to buy that I want to spend specifically less money necessarily on makeup, but I am like perhaps now more picky this year of what kind of products I will be getting into my collection, because there is quite a lot. And as I said from my declutter videos, I am now on my sort of having a mission of trying out the sort of particular lip and cheek products that I have been like collecting during last year, but I wasn't able to try them yet. So I do want to like focus on more on trying out the products that have been sort of on hold on my collection, and then if I don't feel like they are worth keeping, then I can just declutter them immediately and then see if there is something like better products that I want to get. But yeah, that was just something I perhaps wanted to point out at the end of this video. But anyway, if you did like this video, then push the like button and subscribe to the channel, and if you want to get notifications from my future videos, then ring the bell button. You can also find me on my Instagram channel with the same nickname, Makeup Hedgehog. I hope you're having a good day wherever you are, and I hope I will be seeing you again soon. Bye bye!